In a quiet green forest lived a tiny sparrow named Pico. Pico was smaller than every other bird in the forest. His wings were weak, and he could barely fly higher than the tallest bush. The eagles soared high above the clouds, and the parrots flew in colorful groups across the sky. Whenever Pico tried to join them, they would laugh and fly away. Sometimes, Pico sat alone on a small branch and wondered, "Why was I born so small?" One evening, the sky suddenly turned dark. Thick clouds covered the forest, and thunder shook the ground. A powerful storm was coming. Lightning flashed across the sky and suddenly struck an old tree in the middle of the forest. The tree was home to many small animals and birds. Within seconds, the tree caught fire. Flames began spreading across its branches. The animals started running in fear. Birds quickly flew away to safer places. Even the strong eagles stayed far away from the flames. No one wanted to go near the fire. Everyone watched helplessly as the flames grew bigger. But one tiny bird didn't fly away. Pico. He flew quickly to the nearby river, dipped his tiny beak into the water, and carried one small drop back to the burning tree. He dropped the water onto the fire. Then he flew back to the river again. Another drop, and another. The animals watched him in confusion. A monkey shouted from a branch, "Pico, the fire is huge. Your tiny drops won't stop it." Pico looked at the burning tree and said calmly, "Maybe I can't stop the fire, but I refuse to watch my home burn." Then he flew back to the river again. Drop by drop, he kept trying. The monkey watched silently for a moment. Then he picked up a large leaf, filled it with water, and threw it on the fire. A deer ran to the river and splashed water with its hooves. Soon a rabbit joined. Then another animal, and another. One by one, the animals of the forest began helping. Even the birds that had flown away returned when they saw what was happening. Together, they carried water again and again. Slowly, the flames began to weaken. Finally, the fire went out. The old tree was saved. The animals looked at Pico with respect. That day, the smallest bird in the forest had done the biggest thing. Pico realized something important. He was never too small to make a difference. Moral: you don't need to be powerful to create change. Sometimes the world is waiting for one small act of courage.